ABC 10 News at 7 starts now.
Family and friends are coming together as they search for a missing Chula Vista mother. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. A candlelight vigil just wrapped up at Mount San Miguel Park for Maya Miliete. She disappeared 6 days ago and didn't show up to work this week. She also missed her daughter's birthday, which Maya's sister says is the most troublesome.
That was I think the breaking point where we actually said, hey, this is not her.
Yeah.
Like, this is it. Like, we didn't hear anything from her.
Miliete's husband told ABC 10 News they got into a fight last Thursday and she left, quote, to blow off some steam.
A standoff at a Midway area subway is over tonight. The man surrendered just before 5:15 this evening. It started around 3 when police were called about a robbery at a subway on Sports Arena Boulevard. When officers arrived, the would-be robber took 2 people hostage inside. They managed to escape, but the man inside told officers he wanted to commit suicide by cop. Fortunately, they talked him out without anyone being hurt.
Turning now to coronavirus, a potential game changer in COVID-19 testing could be just weeks away, and it was developed right here in San Diego. As our ABC 10 News anchor Lindsay Pena explains, it's a more accurate test capable of handling up to 100,000 samples an hour.
Since the pandemic began, it seems it's been a constant battle to keep up with the demand for testing. Accurate and fast has been a challenge. A recent CDC study revealed rapid tests may only be 80% accurate, but an Escondido-based company could change that.
This is the fastest known method at a massive scale in science to reveal the invisible enemy, the SARS-CoV-2 virus.
Dr. Suresh Menon, founder and president of the biotech company, says they started focusing already existing molecular mirror technology last summer into creating a new kind of test. Unlike many other rapid tests which detect antigens, the Menon process identifies the virus on a molecular level and uses an MRI machine to detect COVID in a large number of samples at one time.
Within 5 to 10 minutes, the wells containing the virus lights up, which a computer can document in real time.
Menon partnered with UC San Diego to test their technology as quickly and effectively as possible.
We're talking about doing tests at huge scale with the quality of the PCR-based results. And that's why it has the potential to basically be a game changer in COVID testing.
Dr. David Pride with UCSD says they're testing as many samples as they can get right now and are likely just weeks away from applying for FDA emergency use authorization, which means the technology could be rolled out not just here in San Diego, but across the state and the country.
Because the more tests we can perform, hopefully the more likely we can return life to normal sooner rather than later.
Lindsay Pena, ABC 10 News.
The new rapid COVID test is also a finalist for the X Prize. Winning that scientific competition would mean worldwide recognition and millions of dollars in funding.
The county reported another 2,500 new cases today, bringing our total to 204,000. Another 53 San Diegans have lost their lives to COVID, bringing that total to just over 2,000. In the coming days, many more San Diegans will be eligible to get a COVID-19 vaccine. But how do you know when it's your turn? And how do you sign up? ABC 10 News anchor Derek Stahl goes in depth to find the answers.
Right now, to find out if you're eligible for the shot, you have to go to the County Health Department's website, coronavirussd.com. There, you can find the breakdown of who's being vaccinated now and who's next. But with all the different phases and tiers, it's complicated. The county says the new CalVax system should simplify things. Soon, the state-run application will allow people to put in their information and find out when they're eligible, schedule an appointment, and sign up for email and text alerts.
I know this will alleviate tremendous anxiety.
County leaders say it should be up and running in the next week to 10 days.
We will be an early adopter, a pilot project. One of the very few counties that selected to go early.
Their plan is to start accepting signups from people 65 and older beginning the week of January 25th. That'll give seniors access to county-run sites like the Superstation at Petco Park. On the flip side, some individual healthcare providers like UC San Diego will start vaccinating that group sooner. Those providers will reach out to their patients directly. If that sounds complicated, it is.
We want to keep moving into the next phase or tier if an entity has extra vaccine doses and is ready to go, but at the same time, keep a little bit of that priority.
Dr. Christian Ramers is on the county's vaccine advisory group and says they're trying to balance speed with ethics.
We can't, when we open things a little bit wider, we can't lose sight of the fact that there really should be some priority to this, and that let's say an 85-year-old with an underlying condition is actually at much higher risk of COVID than a healthy 65-year-old.
In early February, the county hopes to open vaccinations to the next part of Phase 1B, people who work in education and healthcare, emergency services, and food and agriculture, including grocery and restaurant workers. We asked Dr. Ramers if those workers will have to show any sort of proof of their employment.
Anytime you introduce a complexity of like having to prove something, we realize that that can serve as a barrier.
He says the advisory group is still working out the recommendations on that, but
I don't want to make this something that is like a voter ID law that prevents people from voting. We want people to come in and get vaccinated.
Dr. Ramers says anyone who gets vaccinated should sign up for a CDC tool called vSafe. It sends text messages once a day asking about any potential side effects. Derek Stahl, ABC 10 News.
A downtown restaurant is leading the charge to get thousands of dollars in government fees refunded. Our ABC 10 News reporter John Horn explains why they say the current efforts to help, they're not nearly enough.
Downtown's Cowboy Star restaurant unveiled a $500,000 renovation in early 2020. 6 weeks later came the shutdown.
We were really set to have a fun, good, 2020, and then things kind of turned around.
Restaurant co-owner John Weber says sales are down 90% at takeout only, and the employee count has dropped to 4.
We're doing everything we can. We're keeping our chins up.
Weber tells me cash flow is a real issue and that the restaurant needs to have that money on hand for when the time comes to get fully back up to speed. That's why it's seeking to get thousands of dollars refunded from state and local agencies. Cowboy Star is the lead plaintiff on a class action lawsuit filed this week against the county health department and the state alcohol beverage control. It seeks a prorated refund of licensing fees restaurants paid for the right to operate during a time they were forced to severely reduce services. Weber says the agencies ignored his refund requests, which he estimates at about $3,000.
Back in 2019, that wouldn't sound like a whole lot of money to me. I say that now, and it's a difference between maybe opening your doors and maybe not opening your doors.
The county has deferred restaurant fees through March, and the state may waive ABC fees in 2021.
I applaud the politicians who've tried to do something. We definitely need to address what happened in 2020.
Cowboy Star is also part of a lawsuit challenging the governor's tiered system of restrictions. A hearing is scheduled next month. John Horn, ABC 10 News.
Both the state and the county told ABC 10 they do not comment on pending litigation. You can stay on top of any new developments with coronavirus by downloading the 10 News app. A free version is available in the App Store.
Crews are mopping up after a brush fire that came dangerously close to Palomar College today. It started just before 12:30 on a hillside near West Mission Road and Comet Circle. The flames quickly spread and threatened homes, prompting evacuations. It burned about 40 acres before crews were able to stop its progress. We spoke to an employee of a nearby church who watched it unfold.
Yeah, that's my little cross up there. I take care of that, and I think God must have been watching over that and the church. Like I said, it's a good thing the winds were blowing that way. It kept it up in this area, and it kept away from the homes up there. So,
no structures burned. The cause of the fire is under investigation. And our weather right now is ripe for a fire. Meteorologist Angelica Camposi is joining us now with the warm, dry conditions in the county. Angelica?
That's right, Kim. When we talk about warm weather, low humidity, and gusty winds, that sets up the stage for any given fire to spread very quickly. So we know that our firefighters are just amazing and they do a great job like they did this afternoon. The conditions right now, very, very dry. And what happens towards the end of the day is you actually start to see that relative humidity going up. It's only relative to the temperature, so it is still very dry. The winds are picking up, gusting up to 35 miles per hour in Alpine. And we're going to see highly localized winds across the county But the temperatures today also broke records, and we're expecting tomorrow to be a similar day, potentially warmer than today, which means fire danger is going to continue. We'll have more on that in your 7-day forecast.
Angelica, thank you. We have a happy follow-up tonight. A missing Santee teenager has been found. The 16-year-old, identified only as Taryn, hadn't been seen since Sunday, but the Sheriff's Department tweeted tonight she was found safe. She is now back with her family. Governor Gavin Newsom is mobilizing 1,000 members of the National Guard because of concerns over violent protests. A temporary chain-link fence also went up today around the state capitol in Sacramento. The FBI and others, they are warning about civil unrest before or during President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration. The CHP is refusing to issue any permits for rallies at the Capitol.